Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with aBlogtoWatch. Please subscribe to our videos on YouTube and like this video if you find it useful. This is a review of the Bell & Ross BR392 Nightlum. There's the Horoloom, the Nightlum, and there's a few different watches that have these kind of names that are a little confusing to me, but I'll go with it. This is, I'll call it a simplified version of the core dial aesthetic that has made the BR instrument collection so famous to begin with, especially the BR1 and the BR3. The BR1 is the larger 46mm wide case, and the BR3 is this smaller 42mm wide square, but it wears, large because it is a square and it's 42mm wide. You have here, I'll call it a Panerai style look because there's no minute indicators. It's just the hour indicators, and then you have those classic aviator style hands and hour markers that are famous at Bell & Ross, and similar ones are, of course, famous at Panerai. I wrote an article, actually I did a podcast, and I wrote in the article a review of this watch that more and more I see some watches like this being less expensive alternatives to some of the Panerai watches that are quite expensive these days, and I say that there's a similar look and feel and fit. The BR3 is really a great case. Here it's in black coated, actually this is ceramic. There are steel versions of this as well, but the ceramic looks really nice. It actually looks like steel, and when I say that, it's actually a compliment because the way they're able to finish it is really nicely done, and I think that there's a really good level of quality to Bell & Ross's ceramic cases. It does feel like PVD coated metal, but it's highly scratch resistant, and these industrial finishes they're able to give are just spot on. Some people sometimes complain that they feel Bell & Ross watches are expensive, and I say, you know what, they are, but the attention to fit and finish and detail is worth it to me. And I look out in the market and I'm like, you know what, there's no alternatives there that offer the same type of experience at a lower price. So there's the BR3 92 on the wrist, and 92 just implies that it has an ETA 2892 movement in there. So if it's a BR3 93, that would be the 2893 movement, the 95 would be the 2895 movement, etc. That's the sort of coding language that Bell & Ross uses. So the Nightlum has its own particular personality. The strap is nice. It's sort of a greenish gray suede style. I'm sure that'll start to look good in a couple of months after wearing it a lot. There's also a silver dial version of this, which I think is called the Horoloom, slightly different. Also a very compelling design because the BR3 watches very rarely, if ever, came with light color dials. They're usually black dials, which of course makes sense given the fact that they're inspired by cockpit instruments that are black dialed. The green loom is sharp. A lot of these watches have white loom, which is very... it's very sort of maybe too instrumental. I think that when something is white and black, it feels a little bit less organic, sort of like a cold tool, whereas other colors like the sort of aged loom or this green loom adds a little bit more character to me, which I like. It adds the fashion element of it. It has nothing to do with it being functional or legible because black and white is high contrast, so it's good. But I think it's interesting to consider this with a green color or a tan color or something like that, as opposed to the black and white one. But the black and white one still looks really cool. Anyhow, this is the Bell & Ross BR392 Nightlum. Retail price is $3,800, and you can see the full review on aBlogtoWatch. Thanks.